Imagine Sarah. She's standing in the back kitchen of a bustling restaurant after another exhausting shift. Her apron is stained with sauces. Bits of herbs are stuck to her shoes, and the faint smell of garlic and spices clings to her clothes. Her hands are rough from washing dishes. Her feet ache from standing, and her body feels as though it's carrying the weight of every pan she's scrubbed, every plate she's filled. But behind the tiredness in her eyes, there's a spark, a glimmer of something that has kept her going all these years, a feeling, a dream she hasn't been able to let go of. She's wanted more than this life, more than the routine grind of long hours for little pay, but she's never known how to break free. In that cramped kitchen, with the noise and heat swirling around her, she feels a question tugging at her. Could there be something more? But one evening, that spark becomes a glimmer of possibility. After a particularly rough day, Sarah sagged onto her tiny couch, her mind too weary to think, scrolling aimlessly on her phone. She clicks on a video of a self-taught chef who built a cooking channel on YouTube from scratch. As she watches, she feels a spark of inspiration ignite within her. I could do that, she thinks, her pulse quickening. I know I could, but almost as soon as the thought comes, doubts creep in. I don't have a nice kitchen. I don't even own a camera. Who would watch me anyway? She shakes her head, dismissing it as a fantasy. But over the next few days, that idea keeps returning, a small, persistent flame she can't quite extinguish. Every time she tries to ignore it, she feels something tugging her back to the dream, whispering, "What if?" After weeks of exploring and countless late-night sessions, studying everything she could about YouTube, something inside Sarah shifts. She's ready to take that first step, no matter how unprepared she feels. Setting up her phone on a simple tripod, she arranges her ingredients, takes a deep breath, and hits record. Her voice shakes as she introduces herself. Her hands fumble slightly, but she powers through, showing viewers how to make a simple, budget-friendly pasta dish. When she watches the footage, she cringes at every small mistake, but she's determined. She edits the video, adds captions, and after hours of painstaking work, hits upload. Then a wave of doubt rushes in as she realizes anyone could see it, judge it. She spends the next few days refreshing the page constantly, each view feeling like a tiny spark of hope. Her heart skips every time a notification pops up. A view, a comment. She knows it's not much yet, but for the first time in a long time, she feels she's taken a step toward her dream. With each small view count and each comment, Sarah's confidence grows alongside her channel. What started as a leap of faith is turning into something steady, something she can build on, video by video. She begins filming another video, then another. Each time she improves. She finds better angles, talks a little smoother, and learns how to edit more efficiently. But balancing her day job and the channel is hard. Some mornings she gets up at dawn to film before her shift. Other nights she stays up late editing. She realizes she has to manage her time down to the minute. She stops wasting hours on distractions and instead focuses on her channel, carrying a notebook around to jot down recipe ideas on the go. Her time is precious, and she treats every moment as an investment in her future, even if it means sacrificing sleep or downtime. Bit by bit, she's learning to build momentum, and each video feels like she's adding a brick to a foundation she's building all by herself. And with every new subscriber, Sarah realizes her channel is becoming more than just a video library, it's a community. She's not just sharing recipes anymore, she's connecting, listening and learning from her viewers. Every comment, every like and every subscriber feels like a small victory, but she doesn't just see her audience as numbers on a screen. She replies to each comment, thanks her viewers, and even starts asking them for recipe suggestions. Her authenticity shines through and slowly her audience grows, not just in size, but in loyalty. People start sharing her videos, tagging friends, and asking her for tips. Sarah realizes that her story resonates with others, that she's building something far more valuable than just a viewer count. Her audience isn't just watching, they're rooting for her, and their support makes her feel like she's finally found a place where she belongs. Encouraged by the growing support of her audience, Sarah realizes she needs to invest more into her dream. Her viewers' encouragement fuels her as she takes that leap of faith, with each new purchase, taking a hard look at her savings and deciding to buy a better microphone. The expense is a leap of faith, a risk she knows she has to take to improve her content. Later, she upgrades to a better camera, even though it means cutting back on other comforts. Each purchase is nerve-wracking, but she reminds herself that these risks are her way of betting on herself. She's learning that in order to grow, she has to step out of her comfort zone and believe in her vision. Every time she takes a risk, she feels a rush of fear, but also a thrill, a sense that she's inching closer to the life she wants. With her newfound equipment and confidence, Sarah knows that the real key to long-term success lies in consistency. Week after week, she shows up for her audience, building a routine that her followers come to rely on and that keeps her anchored to her goals. She uploads every single week, without fail. Even on days when she's too tired to cook, she sticks to her routine, knowing that her viewers are waiting. She reminds herself that it's not enough to be motivated in the short term. Real success requires discipline. Day after day, week after week, she keeps her focus sharp. Each new video becomes a marker of progress, another step toward the future she's building. She no longer wonders if this will work. She knows it will, because she's creating something real. Finally, reaching 1 million subscribers, Sarah looks back with profound gratitude at the journey that brought her here. She's ready now to give back, to share the blessings she's received. She remembers her roots, the nights she spent doubting herself, and the community that supported her along the way. She starts giving back by offering free online cooking classes to beginners and donates a portion of her earnings to support food programs in her community. Practicing gratitude and giving back brings her a deeper sense of fulfillment, making her realize that wealth isn't just about financial gain, it's about creating a positive impact. Sarah's journey is a testament to what's possible when you have the courage to start where you are. She didn't become a millionaire overnight, but through habits of learning, goal setting, time management, community building, calculated risk-taking, consistency and gratitude, she transformed her life. So, now you might be wondering, how did Sarah truly turn her passion into a thriving income source? Let's pull back the curtain on the strategies that turned her dream into a reality. As Sarah's channel grew, so did her audience's engagement. She wasn't just sharing recipes, she was building trust and credibility, creating a brand that her viewers resonated with. They relied on her for affordable, delicious meal ideas, practical cooking tips, and inspiration to try new things in the kitchen. It was during this time that brands began to notice the connection Sarah had with her audience. Her authenticity and down-to-earth approach attracted companies that wanted to reach the very people who tuned into her videos week after week. Sarah's first revenue stream came in the form of small sponsorships, offers from companies asking her to feature products like kitchen tools, spices, and meal prep containers. These initial sponsorships were small but valuable, covering her basic needs such as a new microphone or editing software. And each sponsorship felt like a milestone, a validation that she was building something real, something valuable. But Sarah didn't rely on sponsorships alone. She understood the power of diversifying her income. She knew that to make a living from her channel, she needed more than just one source of revenue. So she decided to offer something directly to her audience, something they'd value and that would bring her additional income. She began with a small, manageable project, an ebook of her top recipes. This wasn't just any cookbook. It was crafted with care, including affordable, simple recipes that her viewers had loved. She designed the ebook herself, testing recipes, taking photos and formatting it to look professional and engaging. When she released it, she didn't expect much, but her followers loved it. Many had been asking for a way to keep her recipes all in one place, and this ebook became just that. Selling it through her social media and eventually her own website, Sarah created an additional income stream while offering her audience something they truly valued. As her subscriber count continued to climb, so did her revenue from YouTube's AdSense. With each video she posted, her view count grew, and as it did, her earnings from YouTube ads increased. But Sarah was smart about it. She didn't rely on one viral video to sustain her. Instead, she focused on building a library of content, a collection of videos that her audience could watch, re-watch, and even binge over time. This archive meant that even her older videos continued to generate views and, in turn, revenue. It was a slow, steady accumulation, but the income from YouTube's ad program became a consistent foundation for her. Every month, the ad revenue added up, creating a steady, reliable income stream. Sarah knew she was building something bigger than just a following. She was creating an ongoing source of revenue that worked for her even when she wasn't filming. And then Sarah added one more layer to her revenue strategy: affiliate marketing. By this time, her viewers trusted her recommendations, especially for kitchen tools and products she used in her own cooking. So she partnered with companies that offered affiliate programs. She only chose products she personally used and loved, ones she knew would genuinely help her audience in the kitchen. In her video descriptions, she included links to these products, subtly mentioning them in her videos when they made sense. Each time a viewer clicked on the link and purchased an item, Sarah earned a small commission. At first, the affiliate income was modest, but as her audience grew, these small commissions became significant. Eventually, affiliate marketing turned into another passive income stream, providing income each time one of her videos sparked interest in a product she featured. It was a win-win. Her audience discovered useful tools, and Sarah added another steady income layer to her portfolio. With each of these income streams, sponsorships, product sales, ad revenue, and affiliate marketing, Sarah's monthly earnings began to snowball. Sponsorships brought in revenue directly from brands, giving her the freedom to invest in better equipment. Her ebook sales were an independent income stream where she had full control. YouTube ads continued to deliver consistent revenue, and affiliate marketing created a passive flow of income as her audience grew. None of these sources alone would have made her a millionaire, but together they formed a diversified, sustainable income structure. She no longer depended on her paycheck as a chef's assistant. She was living off her passion and hard work. Her channel had become more than just a side project. It was a career, a community, and a platform for her to share, inspire, and connect with others. So you see, Sarah's success wasn't a product of luck or an instant windfall. It was the result of combining passion with a carefully crafted strategy. By diversifying her revenue sources and staying true to her mission, she gradually turned her channel into a thriving business and a life-changing income stream. Sarah's story shows us that true financial freedom comes not from one source, but from building a portfolio of income streams that support each other, creating a foundation that lasts. What about you? What small steps could you take to begin building your own version of financial freedom? Sarah's journey is a powerful reminder that success isn't just about strategy and perseverance. It also holds deep spiritual lessons. Her story teaches us that our path to financial freedom and fulfillment is not just a material journey, but a spiritual one where inner growth and faith are as essential as any external achievements. First, Sarah's story embodies the principle of faith in small beginnings. She started with almost nothing, just a simple kitchen and a phone. But instead of focusing on what she lacked, she saw potential in what she had and took that first step forward. This reflects a spiritual truth. Greatness often begins in humility. When we have faith in even the smallest resources and trust that they hold the seeds of something greater, we can transform our lives in ways we might never have imagined. Persistence and patience are also spiritual virtues that Sarah's journey exemplifies. Building her channel wasn't an overnight success. It was a test of patience, a slow but steady climb that required her to trust in the process. She reminds us that growth, both personal and financial, doesn't happen instantly. There's a rhythm and timing to everything, and sometimes we have to surrender to the process, trusting that each small effort, each act of discipline, is leading us closer to our purpose. Sarah's story encourages us to trust that as long as we keep moving forward, our hard work will eventually bear fruit. One of the deepest spiritual lessons in Sarah's story is the power of gratitude and giving back. Even when she reached financial freedom, Sarah didn't hoard her wealth, she shared it, offering free classes and donating to those in need. This act of giving creates a cycle of abundance, reminding us that wealth is not just about accumulation, it's also about impact and purpose. True prosperity comes not just from what we receive, but from what we give, from lifting others as we rise. Sarah's journey shows that when we open our hearts to gratitude and generosity, we invite even greater blessings into our lives. Finally, her journey highlights the importance of staying connected to purpose. For Sarah, cooking wasn't just a way to make money. It was a way to connect with people, to inspire, and to serve. She remained grounded in her purpose, allowing it to guide her decisions and her content. In a world where material success can sometimes feel hollow, Sarah's story is a reminder to anchor ourselves in a purpose larger than ourselves. When we let purpose drive our path, success becomes more than just a financial goal. It becomes a fulfilling, spiritually enriching journey. So, as we look at Sarah's story, let it inspire us not only to take action, but to bring these spiritual lessons into our own lives. May we have faith in our small beginnings, trust in the process, embrace gratitude and generosity, and stay grounded in purpose. Because when we walk our path with these values, we're not just building wealth, we're building a life of true abundance and meaning. If Sarah's journey resonated with you, stirred up questions, or ignited ideas for your own path, don't let that inspiration slip away. Take a moment to share your thoughts, questions, and reflections in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what part of her story struck a chord with you. Maybe you're wondering how to apply similar strategies in your own life, or perhaps you're facing a challenge on your journey that you'd like some insight on. Remember, your voice matters here. Each question, each comment, and each insight doesn't just contribute to the conversation, it builds a community of like-minded individuals on the same journey toward growth and financial freedom. And who knows, your question might even be the inspiration behind our next story or topic, helping others find the answers they're looking for too. So don't hold back. Let's create a space where we uplift, encourage, and empower each other to take those bold steps toward the lives we envision. I can't wait to read and respond to your thoughts. Let's keep this journey moving forward together. Meet Alex, a talented but frustrated marketer working at a traditional advertising firm. His office is a sea of grey cubicles lit by the sterile glow of fluorescent lights. Awards for old billboard campaigns hang on the walls, relics of a time when print and TV were the pinnacles of advertising. Alex's ideas for digital marketing are repeatedly dismissed by his boss, who prefers to stick with what's always worked. The phrase, "if it's not broken, don't fix it," is a constant reminder of how stifling the corporate world can be. Every evening, Alex paces around his small apartment, restless. His kitchen table is littered with half-drunk coffee cups, notepads full of scribbled marketing ideas, and his laptop blinking with open tabs. One night, inspiration strikes. What if I started a YouTube channel? He could share his knowledge, teaching traditional business owners how to harness the power of digital marketing. The thought sends a thrill through him, but also a wave of doubt. Will anyone care? He wonders. Yet the idea keeps nagging at him, a small spark of hope. Alex knows he needs a compelling case study to bring his channel to life, something real and practical to showcase. That's when a friend suggests Emma's fitness class. You have to experience it, the friend says. Emma is incredible. She's more than just a fitness instructor, she's an inspiration. Curious and in desperate need of a break, Alex decides to check it out. The fitness studio is electric. The space buzzes with energy, and the air smells of sweat and eucalyptus. Emma bursts into the room, radiating confidence in her sleek, black workout gear. Her voice commands attention, but there's warmth in her tone as she guides each person through the exercises. Push yourself, but be kind to your body, she calls out, weaving through the room, correcting form and offering encouragement. Alex watches, captivated. Emma isn't just leading a workout, she's igniting a fire in each person, and he can't shake the thought, this woman deserves a bigger platform. After class, Alex takes a leap of faith. Still a bit winded and sweaty, he introduces himself to Emma. He explains his background in marketing, his desire to break free from the constraints of his corporate job, and his idea for a YouTube channel. What if we filmed your sessions, he suggests. You could teach fitness tips and tricks to a global audience. I'll handle all the filming, editing and promotion. We can split any revenue 50-50. Emma listens, intrigued but skeptical. The idea of filming herself alone in a studio is daunting, but Alex's vision is compelling. She agrees to try it out on Sundays, the quietest day at the studio. Their first filming session is a mix of excitement and uncertainty. The studio feels oddly empty without a class full of people, and Emma's usual confidence wavers slightly. Alex sets up his borrowed DSLR camera on a cheap, wobbly tripod, trying to adjust the harsh lighting. Emma stands in front of the camera, takes a deep breath and begins. She walks viewers through simple exercises, her voice strong and reassuring, even as she fights her nerves. Alex captures every moment, hoping he's done justice to her energy. That night, back in his cramped apartment, Alex starts editing. His laptop hums under the strain, and he works into the early hours, adjusting audio levels, cutting footage, and making sure Emma's instructions are clear. Finally, he uploads the video to YouTube, optimizes the title and description with every SEO trick he knows, and creates a bold thumbnail. Then he waits, refreshing the page over and over. At first, it feels like a failure. Their first ad revenue check is a mere $50. Emma laughs when she sees it, both amused and a little disappointed. But they both know that building something worthwhile takes time. The next month, they earn $200, then $400. It's not much, but it's a steady climb. Emma compares it to her weekly income from teaching classes, which is about $800. The idea that her YouTube channel might one day match or even surpass that number feels surreal. Alex is still working his corporate job, earning $3,500 a month after taxes, but he begins to see the potential of their side project. It's not yet a replacement for his income, but it gives him hope. Slowly, the financial rewards start to trickle in, and their appreciation for YouTube deepens. They see it as a platform that could change their lives if they stay consistent. Then come the sponsorship deals, and they're like lifelines. A local physiotherapist reaches out to Emma, impressed by her emphasis on proper form and injury prevention. He offers $300 per video for her to mention his services as a resource for people dealing with pain or recovering from injuries. It's not a huge amount, but it's a meaningful step. Emma carefully integrates the sponsorship into her content, ensuring it feels authentic. Alex, too, finds an opportunity. One of his videos about digital marketing catches the attention of a Pilates studio owner. The owner, intrigued by Alex's insights, asks, "Can you help us like you're helping Emma?" They strike a deal, $500 to implement his digital marketing strategies and document the results on his YouTube channel. Alex starts creating videos titled "How I'm Growing a Pilates Studio's Online Presence" and "Lessons from Taking Traditional Businesses Digital." The money is still modest, but it's steady, and it represents progress. Emma's channel is now making $1,500 per month, combining ad revenue and sponsorships, while Alex's side projects bring in an additional $800 monthly. It's a far cry from instant success, but it's enough to keep them going. The financial rewards make their efforts feel worthwhile, and they both develop a deep appreciation for YouTube, not just as a creative outlet, but as a viable path to financial freedom. With renewed motivation, they push forward. Emma starts tailoring her content to viewer requests, offering routines for injury prevention and at-home workouts. Alex documents every success and struggle, using their journey to teach others how to grow online. Their collaboration becomes a story of persistence, a slow and steady climb built on hard work, sacrifice, and a refusal to give up. Their journey is far from over, but they know they're onto something special. Together, they prove that even the smallest steps, when taken with consistency and belief, can lead to something extraordinary. The road has been long and challenging, but the reward is finally within reach, and they're ready for whatever comes next. What happened next was nothing short of remarkable. As Emma's YouTube channel continued to grow, the revenue from her online videos began to outpace what she earned from her studio clients. The once unimaginable had become a reality. Emma was now making more from her digital content than from the long hours she put into teaching fitness classes in person. Her success brought her closer to financial freedom, a goal she never thought digital entrepreneurship could help her achieve, but it also brought a new set of challenges. Recognizing the toll of balancing both worlds, Emma decided to hire an employee to help manage her studio schedule. She brought on a talented assistant instructor who could lead some of the classes, allowing Emma to focus on her well-being and avoid burnout. This change gave Emma the space she needed to manage her mindset and maintain the joy she found in her work, rather than feeling overwhelmed by it. But Emma had no desire to leave her studio behind completely. She loved the face-to-face interactions, the connections she built with her clients, and the energy of a live class. For her, the in-person experience was irreplaceable, a source of inspiration and fulfillment that fueled her passion. So, instead of transitioning fully to the digital world, Emma found a way to blend both realms seamlessly. She started recommending her YouTube videos to her clients, offering them a way to stay engaged with healthy habits, even when they weren't at the studio. "You know," she'd say after class, "if you need some quick stretches for your desk job or a 5-minute mindfulness routine, check out my latest video. It's like having a mini class with me wherever you are." Her clients loved it. The videos became a valuable resource for them, whether they were at home, at work, or traveling. This synergy between her in-person and online presence became her secret weapon. Her studio clients felt more connected to her than ever, and her digital audience grew with the word-of-mouth recommendations. Emma had built a fitness brand that thrived in both worlds, embracing the flexibility and financial freedom of digital content while keeping the human connection she cherished. Emma's journey had come full circle. From a packed fitness studio, where she first caught Alex's eye, to a global digital platform that provided her with opportunities beyond her wildest dreams. Yet, she stayed true to her roots, balancing both with grace and passion, and inspiring thousands to live healthier, more empowered lives, whether they met her online or in person. As Emma's YouTube revenue soared, so did her appetite for more. The idea of splitting earnings with Alex, who managed the digital side, began to feel less appealing. She crunched the numbers and realized that if she could handle the filming, editing, and marketing herself, she could keep 100% of the revenue. The thought of full financial control became irresistible, and Emma started to distance herself from Alex, believing she could manage without him. As they continued filming, something felt undeniably off. The atmosphere that had once been charged with excitement and creativity turned tense and uncomfortable. Emma's energy in front of the camera, which used to radiate genuine passion and warmth, now seemed forced and strained. Her smile was no longer easy and infectious, but looked painted on, barely masking the frustration and fatigue she was carrying. Each movement she demonstrated felt mechanical, lacking the effortless vibrancy that had once captivated their audience. Alex noticed the shift immediately. He could sense the invisible wall that had risen between them, a barrier made of unspoken doubts and unfulfilled expectations. The sessions felt heavy, burdened by the weight of unexpressed tension. The spark that had made Emma's content so special, the authentic connection that had resonated so deeply with viewers, was fading. Alex understood what was happening, but he chose not to confront it head-on. Deep down, he felt he had already accomplished what he set out to do. He had helped build something meaningful, something that could stand on its own. With a sense of acceptance, Alex told himself, "Whatever happens, happens." It wasn't an act of giving up, but of letting go, a spiritual acknowledgement that he couldn't control everything. Yet, even as he stepped back, he held on to a deep sense of gratitude. He had used his marketing skills to uplift a fitness studio business, to transform Emma's local influence into a digital presence that reached thousands. He was grateful for the experience, for the chance to witness the impact of his work and how it had brought real value to others. This gratitude softened the bitterness of their parting ways, turning what could have felt like failure into a lesson in humility and purpose. Eventually, they parted ways. Emma took control of the YouTube channel, retrieving all the credentials and fully embracing her plan to run the show alone. She believed she could handle it all, but reality hit harder than she anticipated. Juggling, filming, editing, managing her studio, and trying to keep her online presence vibrant was more exhausting than she ever imagined. The pressure mounted quickly, and her once bright spirit began to dim. Burnout crept in, and it showed. Emma, overwhelmed and tired, began speaking harshly to her community, her frustration seeping into her videos. The warmth that had drawn viewers to her channel was replaced with a cold, irritable tone. Subscribers began to leave, and engagement plummeted. Her studio clients noticed the change too, and attendance at her in-person classes started to drop. Emma's business, both online and offline, was unraveling before her eyes. Meanwhile, Alex had already moved on. The Pilates studio that had approached him months earlier was now his new focus. Pouring his energy into developing their digital presence, he applied the same strategies he had used to launch Emma's channel, but this time with a deeper understanding of what worked and what didn't. The Pilates studio thrived under Alex's guidance, and he felt a sense of redemption and purpose. His belief in digital marketing's power was reaffirmed, and he continued to build his brand as a digital marketing expert, helping brick-and-mortar businesses succeed. Emma's journey had taken an unexpected turn, but it was a lesson she wouldn't forget. Sometimes the hunger for more can cloud the reality of what makes a project truly successful. Collaboration, trust, and a clear vision. And as she tried to rebuild, she couldn't help but wonder if letting go of what made her content special had been worth the cost. Realizing she needed to change course, Emma made a difficult decision. She chose to sell her studio's license, along with all the equipment she had carefully curated over the years. It was a bittersweet moment. The studio had been her dream, a place where she built a community and shared her passion for fitness. But the pressures of managing everything had taken their toll, and she knew she needed to simplify her life to move forward. With her studio sold, Emma focused entirely on her YouTube channel. Her new content took a reflective turn. She began to share candid stories about her journey in the fitness world, the highs and lows of working with Alex, and the hard lessons she learned about YouTube and entrepreneurship. Her videos became a blend of fitness tips and personal growth reflections, offering her audience a deeper insight into her struggles and triumphs. She talked openly about her mistakes, how the hunger for more revenue had clouded her judgment, and how burnout had almost derailed her completely. Emma also expressed gratitude for the lessons she learned and the resilience she developed along the way. Her vulnerability resonated with viewers, and she started to rebuild the trust she had lost, not just with her YouTube community, but also with herself. If Emma's journey inspired you, or if you've ever faced the challenge of choosing between multiple paths in your quest for financial freedom, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts or experiences. What are the biggest lessons you've learned on your financial or spiritual journey? Maybe you've had moments like Alex, where you saw potential in someone or something around you, and you used your skills to uplift and transform. Or perhaps you've been on a journey like Emma's, learning to balance ambition with gratitude, and finding the courage to pivot when necessary. Let's keep this conversation going and learn from each other. Your stories, reflections, and insights can inspire others who are navigating similar paths. Don't forget to like this story, subscribe for more insights, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us grow this community of growth and possibility. Each like and comment creates a ripple effect, spreading these lessons of financial freedom, spiritual wisdom, and the power of collaboration even further. I want to challenge you to look around at the people and opportunities in your own life. Is there someone like Emma who could benefit from your unique skills and expertise? Is there a local business, a creative project, or even a personal passion that could transform into something extraordinary with the right approach? Alex saw potential where others may have overlooked it. Perhaps there's a way for you to apply the same concept, using your talents to uplift and grow something meaningful. Sometimes the greatest opportunities are right in front of us, waiting for someone with vision to bring them to life. Together, let's redefine what's achievable and continue to inspire one another. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's keep moving forward together, driven by the belief that our combined efforts can create something truly extraordinary. Remember, the path to financial freedom and spiritual fulfillment often starts with the smallest acts of service, gratitude, and inspired action. So what opportunities will you choose to bring to life today? What if I told you that sometimes the dreams we pour our hearts into can shatter right before our eyes? The kind of dreams that kept us awake at night, visions so vivid that we could almost touch them, feel the joy and pride of seeing them come true. What if I told you that no matter how hard we tried, no matter how many sleepless nights we endured, how much of our soul we poured into every detail, or how fiercely we believed in our own potential, sometimes those dreams can slip through our fingers like grains of sand? What if I told you that there are moments in life when we stand face to face with our worst fears, watching everything we worked for come crashing down, leaving us in the darkness of disappointment and doubt? The kind of darkness that makes us question our purpose, our worth, and whether we even deserve to dream at all. It's the kind of heartbreak that shakes you to your core, leaving you broken and wondering if it's time to give up, or if there's something more waiting just beyond the pain. But what if I told you that hitting rock bottom isn't the end of the story? That sometimes the very moment we feel most defeated is the one that holds the seed of our greatest transformation. What if the fall is what sets the stage for a rise so magnificent, so extraordinary, that it's beyond anything we could have imagined? Imagine that rock bottom isn't a dead end, but rather a catapult, a force so powerful that it can launch us into a life of purpose, passion, and success we never even dared to dream. And here's where it gets interesting. What if the reason our dreams shattered in the first place was to prepare us for something even bigger, something we never would have found if we hadn't faced those moments of gut-wrenching failure? What if those moments of doubt and despair are in fact a test of our resilience, a call to dig deeper, to fight harder, and to rise stronger? You see, life is full of unexpected turns. Sometimes it takes losing what we thought we wanted most to discover the path we were truly meant to walk. And sometimes, just sometimes, the universe has a way of weaving even our most painful setbacks into a tapestry of triumph that's more beautiful than we ever could have imagined. So, as we dive into Lisa's story, a story of dreams that crumbled and a spirit that almost gave up, only to be reborn stronger and more determined, ask yourself, could my greatest failure be the thing that leads me to my greatest destiny? Stay with me, because what happened to Lisa will not only make you question the meaning of success, but it might also make you believe in the extraordinary power of never giving up. Prepare yourself, because the journey is just beginning. And sometimes the journey that breaks us is the one that builds us into who we were always meant to be. Lisa had always been a dreamer. Even as a little girl, she'd sit under the oak tree in her backyard, clutching her favourite notebook and sketching out plans for the future. She imagined herself teaching children in far-off places, making English an adventure rather than a chore. Her family and friends admired her ambition, but often reminded her, dreams are beautiful, Lisa, but reality is different. Lisa never let those words hold her back. She believed that if you could dream it, you could make it happen. So, fresh out of university with her degree in one hand and a heart full of hope in the other, she set her sights on YouTube. This is it, she thought. This is how I'll inspire the world. She named her channel Lisa School of English and imagined it becoming a beacon for learners everywhere. Her tiny studio apartment became a whirlwind of creativity. She covered her walls with posters of motivational quotes, sticky notes with content ideas, and even a whiteboard where she mapped out her vision for the channel. Her workspace was anything but glamorous. She had a second-hand ring light she bought off a friend, a rickety desk she'd painted herself, and a laptop that whirred loudly every time she exported a video. But Lisa didn't care. She threw herself into filming with unbridled enthusiasm, spending hours explaining grammar rules, crafting lesson plans, and editing footage late into the night. The glow from her laptop was her only light source, and the hum of traffic from the street below was her soundtrack. Sometimes, when exhaustion threatened to overwhelm her, she'd whisper to herself, "Keep going, Lisa. The world is waiting." But the world didn't seem to be waiting. Her first video, a meticulously planned lesson on English idioms, received a measly 23 views. She tried to convince herself it was just the beginning, but as weeks went by and each new video fared no better, her optimism began to crack. She spent hours studying successful YouTubers, tweaking her content, and promoting her channel across social media platforms. But it felt like shouting into the void. Her subscriber count barely crawled past 100, and the few comments she received were from her mother and a handful of supportive friends. Every morning, she'd wake up with a pit of dread in her stomach, knowing she'd spend another day battling for views that never came. The worst moment came one Friday night. Lisa had spent the entire week creating what she thought was her best video yet. A vibrant, engaging lesson filled with props and real-world examples. She hit publish, her heart pounding with anticipation. Hours passed and she checked her analytics every 5 minutes. By midnight, She had 14 views. Her throat tightened, and tears blurred her vision. She slammed her laptop shut and sank onto her couch, feeling utterly defeated. All the sticky notes, the motivational quotes, the sleepless nights, had they all been for nothing? With her savings nearly depleted and rent looming, Lisa had no choice but to put her dream on hold. Her parents, who ran a modest petrol and car wash station, offered her a stable job as the employee supervisor. The position was practical, sensible, and soul-crushing. Each morning she woke up to the smell of diesel, the noise of engines, and the relentless rhythm of car after car pulling into the station. Her uniform felt heavy, a symbol of everything she'd lost. Her co-workers were kind, but Lisa couldn't shake the sense of failure that shadowed her every step. She kept her head down, counting days like a prisoner marking time. Then one afternoon, something changed. Lisa stood by the cashier, observing Ahmed, one of the station's most diligent employees. He was trying to assist a customer, a middle-aged man with a flashy SUV, who was growing increasingly agitated. Ahmed's hands fidgeted nervously as he struggled to explain a car wash package in broken English. The customer's face turned red with impatience. "Do you even understand what I'm asking?" he snapped. Ahmed looked at the ground, his face flushed with embarrassment, and Lisa felt a pang in her heart. The interaction ended awkwardly, with the customer storming off and Ahmed mumbling an apology. Lisa couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, as she lay in bed staring at the cracks in her ceiling, an idea began to take shape. What if she could teach English in a way that mattered here and now? In this place where language barriers were costing more than money, they were costing dignity and connection. The idea gripped her, thrilling and terrifying all at once. But then came the old doubts. What if I fail again? What if no one cares? Yet, deep down, she knew she had to try. She couldn't let this spark go out. The fear of failure had never felt so tangible. It wrapped around Lisa like a fog, making it hard to breathe. Her first attempt at YouTube had left scars, and she wasn't sure if she was strong enough to face rejection again. Yet, as she watched her co-workers day after day, struggling and fumbling through interactions that could have gone so differently, she felt a pull, a responsibility she couldn't ignore. Her mind raced with possibilities. She could still remember the glint of pride in Ahmed's eyes when he managed to speak a full, grammatically correct sentence. What if she could give all her co-workers that kind of confidence? She took a deep breath, summoned what courage she had left, and prepared to pitch her idea to her parents. They were seated in the living room, her father immersed in the evening news and her mother knitting a scarf she'd probably never finish. The room was warm, but Lisa felt a cold sweat prickling at the back of her neck. Her voice trembled as she laid out her vision. Live practical English lessons on YouTube, designed specifically for the employees. They wouldn't just learn grammar. They'd learn phrases they could use with customers, language that would make them better at their jobs and proud of their work. Her father looked up from his newspaper, frowning. "Live lessons?" he echoed. "And you want us to give them a salary bonus to attend?" The room fell silent, the tension thick. Lisa's heart pounded in her chest. Her mother put down her knitting and sighed, her eyes filled with worry. "Lisa, you remember what happened last time?" "I know," Lisa interjected, desperation in her voice. "But this time is different. This isn't just about me. It's about the station. We're losing money because of these communication barriers. If we can invest in the employees, we'll see returns in happier customers and fewer mistakes." Her father rubbed his temples, the lines on his face deepening. Finally, he exhaled and nodded. "All right, one more chance. But this had better work." Lisa left the room with her heart in her throat. Relief washed over her, but so did a new, heavier weight. The stakes were higher now. This wasn't just a passion project. It was her family's livelihood on the line. The following week, Her apartment became a hive of activity. She spent her last $1,000 on a whiteboard, some new lights to make her videos look professional, and a decent microphone to ensure her voice was clear. She rehearsed her lessons until her voice was hoarse, terrified of the prospect of failing. On the night of her first live session, she stood in front of the camera, her palms sweating and her legs trembling. She clicked "Go Live" and waited. The first few seconds felt like hours, the silence echoing around her. But then, ping, a notification. Then another, and another. All 34 employees had logged in. Lisa swallowed her nerves and started. She poured every ounce of energy into the lesson, using humor and engaging scenarios. When Ahmed, still nervous but eager, role-played a customer interaction and accidentally said, "I will wash your car with soap and honey," the group burst into laughter. Lisa felt the tension melt away. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and they were learning together. In the weeks that followed, Lisa's lessons became a highlight for the employees. She saw Ahmed transform from a nervous, quiet worker into someone who greeted customers with a confident smile. The station's atmosphere changed, and even the regular customers noticed. One particularly picky businessman approached Lisa, a smile of approval on his face. "Your team has improved," he said. "Whatever you're doing, keep it up." Lisa felt a swell of pride. The lessons were working, and the station's efficiency had improved, leading to a $5,000 increase in annual revenue. Her parents, once skeptical, began to see Lisa in a new light. The station was thriving, but Lisa knew this was just the beginning. Her YouTube channel was gaining momentum, and the seed of a bigger dream had started to grow again. Lisa had learned something important. Success doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from daring to believe that your passion can make a difference. With renewed energy, she thought about how to make her YouTube channel truly impactful. One evening, as she walked through the station, she observed how the employees wore their uniforms with newfound pride. It was then that a bold idea struck her. What if the station became a symbol of education and empowerment? That night, she stayed up brainstorming, scribbling ideas in her notebook. The next morning, she pitched a new concept to her parents, branding all the station employees' uniforms with Lisa School of English. Her father raised an eyebrow, still getting used to Lisa's unconventional ideas. "Branding a petrol station?" he asked, his voice full of doubt. But Lisa explained how it would set their station apart, making it a local attraction and a story worth sharing. Her parents, though hesitant, agreed. And so the transformation began. The rebranded uniforms caught the attention of passers-by. Customers who had once hurried through their transactions now stayed to ask questions. People snapped photos, shared stories on social media, and marveled at how a petrol station could double as a school. Lisa's YouTube channel, which had once struggled to reach even a few hundred views, started gaining traction. Her subscriber count soared past 10,000. The channel's growth was exhilarating, but it was also nerve-wracking. Lisa knew she had to apply for the YouTube Partner Program, YPP. But what if she was rejected? What if, after everything, she still couldn't turn this dream into a sustainable income? The email came one quiet afternoon. Lisa opened it with trembling hands, hardly daring to breathe. "Congratulations, you've been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program." The relief was overwhelming, and she sank onto her couch, tears of gratitude streaming down her face. Finally, all those sleepless nights, all the heartbreak, had paid off. In her first month, she earned $1,500 from ad revenue. By the third month, it had climbed to $3,000. She introduced super chats and membership tiers, one of which offered exclusive Q&A sessions for $20 a month. Her earnings soared to $8,000 per month. She invested in better equipment, ensuring her lessons reached a growing global audience. the YouTube algorithms favored her channel and sponsors started reaching out. Language software companies and educational platforms offered deals, adding $25,000 to her annual income. Local businesses noticed the station's success and wanted in on the action. They signed contracts for fuel and car washing services, boosting the station's revenue by another $20,000. The community admired Lisa, not only for her entrepreneurial spirit, but also for the way she had uplifted those around her. One evening, as the sun set over the petrol station, casting golden light on the pumps and the newly confident employees, Lisa felt a surge of emotion. She had turned a painful defeat into a story of triumph. Ahmed caught her eye, flashing a grin as he assisted a customer with ease. Lisa knew that this was only the beginning. Her passion for teaching had not only brought her financial freedom, but had transformed an entire community. Now it's your turn. Have you ever faced a moment where you thought all hope was lost, when it felt like everything you had worked for was crumbling before your eyes, only to discover that something unexpected and beautiful was waiting just around the corner? Maybe you've had your own story of resilience, where a setback transformed into a breakthrough. Or perhaps you're still in the middle of your struggle, searching for that one spark to ignite your dreams again. I want to hear from you. Your voice, your story, your journey matters. Could your passion be the key to unlocking a path to financial freedom and a life filled with purpose? Have you experienced a moment that tested your faith, only to lead you toward a new opportunity? Or are you on the verge of giving up, hoping for a sign that it's worth continuing to push forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Whether it's a story of triumph, a question you're wrestling with, or even a moment of vulnerability, your experience could inspire someone else who's on the brink of giving up. You never know how your words might touch a life, offer hope, or create a sense of community for someone who needs it. And while you're here, don't forget to join our Wealth Inspiritus community. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with others who could use a reminder that setbacks are often setups for something greater. By engaging with our message of resilience and transformation, you're not just supporting this channel, you're joining a movement of dreamers, fighters, and builders who believe in the extraordinary power of never giving up. Because sometimes all it takes is one bold idea, one moment of courage to change everything. Together we can turn our moments of suspense and uncertainty into triumphs of prosperity. Let's lift each other up, share our stories, and make this journey one of collective growth and empowerment. Your story matters. Don't keep it to yourself. Drop it in the comments, and let's build this community of dreamers together.